So, a lot happened this weekend.
You come over here and I'll bust your shit.
Nah, hey, keep it
Fucking pussy, make sure you don't never talk to me like that. I'm loved, man.
I didn't think I was going to film a B with the T today, but I realized that October is continuing to October. I guess they weren't going to end the month without a bang. So, let's get into some things, girl. First and foremost, I want to talk about Kanye, of course. One of the last B with the T's. I gave him his own video, but like, I'm not giving him his own video today because what I have to say can be put in this video. A wise man once said, diss me, then crawl back, and getting rich supposed to solve that. He was onto something when he made that lyric. What Kanye is doing right now is textbook. He has dissed black people, then dissed Jewish people, and then after he gets released from his contracts, after people are trying to sue him, after all has been said and done, and what really seems like can't be salvaged, Kanye has decided to issue a bogus apology to the people.
I hurt the black people, so I want to apologize to hurting them because right now God has shown me by what Adidas is doing and by what the media is doing, I know how it feels to have a knee on my neck now.
I couldn't even believe my ears when I heard this man pretty much reneging and apologizing because people have had enough of his shenanigans. If you want to make an ass of yourself, don't drag other people into your mess. Do not drag other folk into your mess. We didn't ask to be in your mess, sir. George Floyd definitely didn't ask to be in Kanye's mess. And I specifically wanted to talk about what he said to George Floyd's child's mother, Roxy, because I have never seen anything more out of touch than what Kanye posted on his damn Instagram. By the way, to color correct, I used 2 color correctors. I used the Makeup Forever Step 1 primer is in the shade Caramel. And then I used my LA Girl orange concealer. For foundation, I'm using Born This Way. This is Chai. So as I'm applying my foundation, I'm going to read you what Kanye posted to his Instagram. Kanye said, now for Roxy Washington and Roxy Washington alone. First of all, who gave this man his Instagram back? That's what I need to know. Because you're fired. But neither here nor there. I gave $2 million out of my pocket to the family. He is referencing George Floyd's family. To help George's daughter, your daughter. I can guarantee that most of those that came for me after my comments didn't do what I did. Even those with millions of dollars in the bank. How much did Black Lives Matter give? Many gave words, I acted. Now because of words, you want to sue me for $250 million. When I'm going through an economic lynching, a digital lynching, a social credit score bankrupting. Me. What is this man saying? You're either being controlled or you're being greedy. But you better get you some business for God get mad. Now, why is he bringing God into this? God did not, first of all, you know what? Let me just finish reading. This how you try someone who was there for your family? You will never get money from no one else. What is he talking about? And who told her, who told him she's trying to get money or wants to get money from anybody else? Like, what is going on? I cannot. God don't like ugly. Look at your mother effing hat. Yo hat ugly. You know how I feel about an ugly ass hat. To the Floyd family, I apologize to you and the black community for my comments on Drink Champs. Humbly. There's nothing humble about this, okay? Now, come get Roxy before she mess up y'all money. The Bible is the umbilical cord. Stay connected. I just want to say he keeps using buzzwords that obviously would trigger black people, like throwing lynching on there and also saying things, talking about credit score. Like, those are all things that affect black people to this day. And he's using them as a way to get the sympathy back from Black people. There is no such thing as an economic lynching, okay? Let's just get that straight. There is no such thing. Girl. What in the hell did I just read? How are you gonna say God don't like ugly when the post itself is ugly? Like, what was he trying to accomplish with this post? If I was George Floyd's baby mother, the pot would have to be increased, because now you're pissing me off. Okay? First of all, nobody, and I mean literally nobody, told Kanye to get on Drink Champs and show his ass the way he did.
They hit him with the fentanyl. If you look, the guy's knee wasn't even on his neck like that. When he said mama is his girlfriend. They said he screamed for his mama. Mama was his girlfriend. It's in the documentary. But something that hit me, that fucked me up when I was watching the documentary, and it said they want a tall guy like me. When I looked at that image of him, this tall Black dude with the bald head, he reminded me of somebody else. Who do you think he reminded me of?
Virgil.
He reminded me of Virgil.
He had already been showing his ass from before, but nobody told him to sit up there and bring up no George Floyd. George Floyd didn't have nothing to do with your contracts that you were trying to get out of. He didn't have nothing to do with anything. Then to accuse George of having fentanyl in his system and saying that that's how he died instead of asphyxiation. Well, we all saw what was the reason for Kanye doing that. Why would he get up on that platform and say all that stuff that had essentially nothing to do with him and think that nobody was gonna say anything, hold him accountable? He's also trying to say that, look at what I did for you, so you should allow me to speak down on George Floyd and his death. You should allow me to change the narrative of his death because I gave $2 million out of my pocket. What does one have to do with the other? Nobody asked you for that damn money. And even if they did ask you for the money, does that mean that because you give me money that I should allow you to abuse me? Why is he trying to engage in financial abuse and then threatening to say you're not going to get money from anybody else should she need it, whatever the case may be? Why would you do that? And why is he trying to get sympathy from this woman, talking about what he's going through, this economic lynching that he's going through, that he brought upon himself? Need I remind you, for her to, not sue him? Then, what's his name? That man, he fine, child. What's his name? Oh, look, there he is right there. Then Stephen Jackson addressed Kanye again, and he's addressing him right now as I'm recording this video. He is saying something else to Kanye because Kanye is out of line and out of pocket, and he's taking up 13 minutes of my makeup. Like, I don't really want to be talking about him this damn long, but his behavior is so disgusting. It's actually disgusting and inexcusable. I don't give a damn what mental health issues this man has. His behavior is inexcusable, especially because he has more than enough resources to not be problematic, to get the help he needs if he's having a mental health crisis right now. Strap that mother effer to a table. Strap him to a table and leave him there. Because he does not need to be free right now. He doesn't. He needs to be with grippy socks on and tied to a table. He's so ignorant. And then his apology is not a real apology. The apology that he left the Black people with was a mess. And in all of his apologies, if you really listen, you can hear the "I'm sorry, but." When you're sorry, there is no but, okay? If I tell you I'm sorry, I'm sorry. That's it. Don't know how I could change how I made you feel. Don't know if you could forgive me, but I'm sorry. The but has to come before the I'm sorry, not after. If you say I'm sorry, but, baby, keep it. And don't try to make excuses and garner sympathy for yourself because you brought your own problems on yourself. Why are you going through economic lynching, sir? If that's even a real thing. Like, why is that happening to you? That's what these people with these tendencies like to say. They like to blame shift and take the accountability away from themselves. And so instead of being held accountable or holding themselves accountable, they will say all the things that are going wrong with them, but not saying what they did to be in the position they're in. What did you do, Kanye, to bring this upon yourself? Did you say DEFCON 3? Did you say that slavery was a choice? Why nobody is supporting you right now? Is that what you said? Because if that's what you said, then you need to just realize that and own it and say, you know what? I effed up. I can't take it back. Thanks for holding me accountable, and try to move on with your life. Because anything else is pretty much BS. I told y'all in the last video, I do not feel sorry for this man. I don't. Should he be forgiven? Maybe. I forgive a lot of people for doing a lot of shiesty things, but I ain't gonna forget now. See, we can forgive Kanye all day, every day, but we're not gonna forget because your behavior is patterned. So he does this thing where he throws rocks, doesn't hide his hands, and then later tries to pick up the rocks and tape the window back up. Baby, it's not given that. I can't. So we're gonna leave Kanye to his own devices, and once again, I do not feel sorry for him. He has to make his bed and lay in it, bake his cake and eat it too, whatever. That ain't got nothing to do with black people no more. And it really has nothing to do with not supporting our own or supporting our own. Because he had the support and he threw it away because he wanted to be, what's that word? He wanted to go viral. Like, I don't even know what the freaking word is. Like, I have a lot of brain fog. He wanted to shake the table. What's the word I'm looking for? It's right on the tip of my tongue. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What is that word? When you're trying to add shock value to something. And then when it doesn't go his way, he throws a freaking tantrum. Grow up. Like, I can't talk about Kanye no more. So let's just move the hell on. Do my concealer, I use Fenty and Too Faced. And then to contour, I am again using Fenty. Right now I'm using Truffle. And so, moving right along out of Kanye territory into the adopted Kardashian territory, Lala. Girl, what are you doing? Why did you wear a carnival costume for Halloween? Let me tell you something. Carnival is not for you to try to take from and bring it to Halloween. Halloween is a completely different holiday in itself. Do not take stuff from people's cultures and try to wear it for Halloween. The same way that you're not supposed to wear Aboriginal or Native American wear for Halloween, like your little Pocahontas costumes, ain't it? That is people's culture, their traditional wear. It's not a costume that you dress up in. It's not a vampire, okay? It's not a made up holiday. Carnival symbolizes a lot for Caribbean people. It has a lot to do with the end of slavery. So to wear a carnival costume for Halloween when you ain't never even been to Carnival is crazy, because you have enough money to go to Carnival. She could fly to Trinidad, she could fly to Jamaica, she could fly to Toronto and go to Caribana for all I care. She is wearing a carnival costume, our heritage, and what it symbolizes she don't have a damn clue about, because if she did, she wouldn't be freaking wearing it. So I had a problem with that costume. Did you guys? And maybe some Caribbean people didn't care, but some did. And I'm one of the people that did, okay? It's literally not a costume. And if we're not going to wear native costumes because it's disrespectful, we're also not going to wear carnival costumes. Carnival is in a few months. She could literally go in a few months and participate in carnival. And she better. I hope somebody has sat there and educated her and told her what her costume was problematic. And on the topic of costumes, Diddy body Joker, okay? Diddy body Joker. It's almost like that's who he really is. He really did a good job. It was giving, a little Heath Ledger, okay? Definitely giving Heath in his costume. Now that is a costume. A superhero, supervillain. That's a good costume to wear on Halloween. But Carnival, absolutely the frig not. Go take from your own culture if you have. And if you want to wear that on Halloween, then you go ahead and do that. But never again. Anyway, whoo girl. Diddy was actually in an altercation with 2-Bit because 2-Bit from Power, who is so damn fine by the way, did not realize that it was Diddy in the costume. And so they was on the streets of New York cutting up, girl. Okay, I think they were in New York. And Diddy was trying to get active and 2-Bit was trying to get active. And I'm like, but 2-Bit literally didn't know that Diddy was under the costume, so he was annoyed with whoever was in the costume, and then they kind of hashed it out towards before the video even cut off, like, because Diddy's like, it's Puff or whatever, but like Diddy was trying to get active and he was ready to go. He was on Super Go. Okay, he was a super villain on Super Go. Always stated that Diddy gets active, so I'm not surprised by this, but 2-Bit looked like he wanted to take him to chow. I kind of wanted to see a scuffle now, but that's just me being messy. A lot of celebrities obviously stepped out in their costumes, and some looked really good while others were underwhelming. So my faves were definitely Chloe and Halle's costume. Chloe looked real good as Storm, and Halle looked really good as an Avatar. Tyga always eats. I think we talked about this on live. Where was I? Oh yeah, I was on TikTok. There were so many good ones. I was saying that I loved Kelly Rowland's costume, but I'm tired of seeing Catwoman. So though she looked good as Catwoman, I'm just over Catwoman. And I'm actually obviously over Joker too, but Diddy just did the character so well that, you know, it was fun to watch him in his costume. He killed it. I'm tired of Mystique, but Kim looked good, but I'm tired of Mystique. I guess there's just some costumes that are not unique. There's just some costumes that, you know, we could do with, like, I need people to get out of the norm and think outside of the box for their costume. Because you know who did kill it? Aaliyah J. Who, by the way, my nails are, oh, I'll do a quick nail cam because she did a nail set like this like a few years ago or maybe last year. Can you see that? And my nails are definitely inspired by a set that she did. I wanted to do them so long ago, but I never got around to doing it. And so I finally got to recreate them last night, and I'm so obsessed with how they turned out. Sun, Moon, and Star set. But Aaliyah J's costume was so great. It's never been done before. She looked amazing. The motherboard, you know, I guess she's giving blueprint energy, which I think is rightful, you know? I mean, my nails are inspired by her, so so, you know, I like it. I liked it a lot. I liked her Marie Antoinette as well, because that's also a costume people do, but not often. I feel like every once in a while we see a Marie Antoinette costume. Her motherboard costume was definitely hitting, and we've not seen it before, so she had one of the best costumes of the weekend. Oh my God. Papa Bear's Honey, I Blew Up the Kids. Oh my God, this is so good. I'm done with, like, I'm just seeing this now. This is the best costume ever. That's one of my favorite childhood movies. Oh my God. Actually, I think I might have watched that 8 months ago. I was trying to get my kids to watch it with me, but they ran off and was doing their own thing. But I absolutely love Honey, I Blew Up the Kids, and obviously Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. But Honey, I Blew Up the Kids, iconic movie. The baby just kept growing in the car seat. And they're like, what are we feeding you, child? Oh, what a good movie. Anyway, very creative costume. Shout out to Nikki, okay? Because I ain't never seen nobody do that for Halloween. Let me set this. Girl. So, on to Chrisean and Blueface. A mess. I don't know if we thought their situation could get any worse, but we definitely didn't think it was going to get any better. So I have to assume the majority of us knew that the relationship was heading for the absolute worst. Okay? Now, a lot of the time in these types of relationships, we're going to call a spade a spade. This is a toxic, heavily toxic, and abusive relationship. In the past, we have seen Chrisean beating on Blueface, and Blueface looking like the victim. Somehow, some way, it's always caught on tape when Chrisean is the one being the aggressor. However, if we look at reactive abuse, this might make a little bit of sense. Because of how we have seen Chrisean be baddie south, as well as her opening her mouth to say she likes to fight, she is naturally aggressive. So we can't necessarily say that she is reacting to the abuse and he is always catching it on camera. Or somebody's always catching it on camera and making Chrisean look like she's the one that's always hitting him, and this is finally an act of self-defense. So this weekend, Chrisean ended up going on live because apparently she tried to jump out of a moving vehicle to get away from Blueface. She had alleged that she was she was texting a boy, and Blueface didn't like that. And because she knows how he is, she tried to escape while they were driving down the freeway. So that's obviously highly dangerous. However, it is also highly dangerous to be in the vehicle with an abusive person. I don't want to dig up anybody's old, stuff, but we've seen it before, is all I'm going to say. Where you're in the car with somebody and they hit on you and things go extremely left. When Chrisean was on live, she had said a few things that stood out to me. One of the things she said was why he was attacking her. The other thing she kept reiterating was that she has a fat lip and her eye is blacked. And she also stated that he slipped up because obviously previously he hasn't been really caught being physical with her, aggressive, or hitting on her. She's not been marked up in any way prior to this moment. She also said on this live that she's going live so that he will not hit her. While she's on live, he's in the background. So we hear everything he's saying too. He's referring to her as a fed. So saying she snitched or she's snitching by being on live. And she's saying, I'm only on live for my safety. When she said this, I'm not going to hold you, I was feeling like I was watching myself because I did the same thing. I went on live because I felt like that was the safest thing for me to do in that moment because I didn't want to call the police. And so when I'm hearing Chrisean, I'm also hearing myself. However, in Chrisean's case, she had already been punched and she had already been hit and her eye was already black and her lip was already big. The other thing she said on the live was that nobody told him to show up to her booking. He showed up to her booking to collect her money. I said, this man is a gorilla pimp. He is pimping Chrisean. And everybody's like, well, why doesn't she leave? Why doesn't she leave? Obviously, if her money is always going to him, she feels like she can't leave. So when she said that, and when she said everything else as well, I was like, let me whip out this power and control wheel because they are textbook, baby. They are textbook. If we look at the power and control wheel, we are going to see everything on here. And I talked about Blueface and his coercive behavior towards his child already and the child's mother, and it's problematic. So Blueface, we already know, is abusive. We already know he plays with the coercive control stuff. We already know that he obviously gets physical with whatever women are in his life. We've seen him, we've seen Chrisean fight his mother. And if you're in a situation where you are under coercive control, you may do what you feel is going to be the best course of action to keep your partner happy. And so Chrisean in those moments may have felt like she had to fight his mom because he hates his mom and Ray Tay. It's sad. It's disgusting. And the fact that he's taking her money, showing up to her bookings, so he's not even at the booking. He's not at the booking waiting for her. He showed up knowing she was done at the booking and was collecting her money from her. Then is in the back of her live saying that whoever is the driver doesn't give an F about her. It doesn't care about anybody that doesn't care about herself. He's also telling on himself by state he don't even care about Chrisean. We already could see this though. And everybody's telling Chrisean, but we really don't know the magnitude of their relationship. At the end of the day, you're not going to leave until it gets to that point where you're like, okay, I really can't do this anymore. And I feel like that's where Chrisean is. I'm thinking and hoping that based on her going live, she's almost there. Because I'll be honest with you, when I went live that night, I thought that let me tell you my mindset. When I went live and when I posted him threatening to break my jaw, I thought that was my out. I was literally thinking like, if I post this, if I go live right now and expose that this is the situation I'm in, I'm not going to stay with him because I'm going to be too embarrassed to stay. So I was trying to leave. I'm laughing, but this is dead ass what it is. And that's why I did that. And I feel like that's where Chrisean's head is at. Because if you've not been in this type of situation, you really can't relate. And you do look at the person like, you're a freaking idiot. I know that that's how people were looking at me. Like, you're dumb. You stayed. You had another baby. You're crazy. But you really don't understand how this affects your brain. And so they are very physical. There's a lot of abuse there. She hits him, he's hitting her. It's not healthy at the end of the day. I really want for them to be separated, but I feel like Zeus Network, they need to be held accountable too, because they made a whole show out of Chrisean and Blueface's dynamic. I haven't sat and watched the show. I haven't even really watched the trailer for the show because I refuse to support it because I know that their situation is problematic, abusive, controlling, and not healthy for people to be watching, because obviously they have a lot of young fans as well. Their relationship dynamic is not okay. And so I feel like Zeus Network needs to either pull the plug on that show and, stop that bag, because they shouldn't be getting money for displaying their toxicity. Like, that's crazy. Because it's not like I don't even know what's going on in that show. I don't know, so I can't really comment. I don't know if the show is about therapy. Girl, I don't know. The fact of the matter is, the following day, Chrisean got online and pretty much tried to renege. I've done the same thing. I haven't really tried to renege and say it didn't happen, because obviously it happened, but you try to kind of smooth things over, and that's what she did. The following day, Chrisean got online and pretty much said the opposite of what she was saying while she was on live in the moment. She then put the blame on herself, been there, done that, and said that she was drunk and she has a bad relationship with alcohol pretty much, and she's going to be working on that from here on out. But she tried to make Blue seem like the hero, when in the moment she was telling him exactly what it was. Drunk or not drunk, she was saying, you were not trying to save me. How are you trying to save me from jumping out of the car, but then punching me in my lip and my eye? That doesn't make any sense. Because if you're trying to save me from jumping out, I'm going to assume you're grabbing my body and pulling me back in and talking some sense into me. I'm also going to have to assume if I'm trying to jump out of a moving vehicle to get away from you, that speaks volumes. I'd rather risk my life out jumping out this moving vehicle than stay in the car with you because you are dangerous. To me, that speaks volumes. And it's not really, for me, it's not, I feel like on my channel, I've held both of them accountable. But I just feel like we've seen Blueface in action, and a lot of this is starting to make more sense. Because if you feel financially stuck, if this man is going to her bookings and collecting all her money, why would she leave? How could she leave? Is probably her mentality. Because I'll tell you right now, I was like, well, I got 3 kids. I didn't know how I was gonna afford anything. I'm like, just, and so you think twice, and that's a part of the power and control wheel. Using finances to abuse your partner. Because it's like, well, where are you gonna go if you have no money? And them constantly telling that you can't go nowhere, you ain't got nowhere to go, all these things, and then you start to believe it. Chrisean probably believes she has nowhere to go, which is bull, because at the end of the day, if she says, you know what, if she gets that tired and she's like, you know what, keep the money, I don't even care, I'm good with Blueface needs Chrisean. Chrisean she's who everybody's talking about. nobody's talking about Blueface unless it's attached to Chrisean. It's always a woman. You know what I mean? It's always a freaking woman. So nobody's talking about Blueface. Nobody's caring about Blueface's music because he can't catch the beat to save his life. So he has to pimp Chrisean. Chrisean is his meal ticket. There is not a girl on the face of this earth that is missing a tooth and getting bookings. But Chrisean she just has this something about her that he's able to latch onto, and she's getting thousands of dollars to do club walkthroughs, to maybe perform her songs or whatever. Lizzo was Chrisean for Halloween. Like, that's major. Chrisean is not a mainstream person. She's very much embedded into Black culture at this moment. But she's not a mainstream artist or anything like that. We only know of her because of the Blueface saga, or because Blueface and her relationship. But once she kind of got her own lane and own stream and own fan base, Blueface should have been a thing of the past, but she's stuck with him. We've seen him kick her out. We've seen Whack 100, help Blueface to hide the fact that their relationship is problematic. There's so many layers to this situation, but like, if you really look at the situation, you can see what is going on. And this doesn't make Chrisean hitting Blueface right. And I just want to put that out there. I don't agree with putting your hands on anybody. If you put your hands on somebody, they're liable to put their hands back on you. So just don't do it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, if you're in a situation where somebody is constantly just draining you, you may feel like you don't know what to do with your anger, because a lot of it is internalized. And so that could also be Chrisean's case. She's very angry in her situation. I mean, I would be angry too if somebody was there collecting all my damn coin and I'm not seeing none of it unless I ask, and then I have to ask for it because of control and power. Like, when she said that he showed up to the booking to collect her money, I was on the floor. I mean, I already kind of knew that might be the case, but to hear her actually say it and confirm that he's taking her money, she needs more help than we could even, address right now. Like, she's actually stuck unless she says, F the money, I have to get away from this person, and she moves to damn Idaho, okay? Like, she has to actually remove herself and get away from Blueface in order for her to be successful and keep her money, obviously, and not get pimped, and not get hit on, and not get back into the cycle of abuse where she is jumping online less than 24 hours later and saying he was trying to save her, when less than 24 hours ago she was saying to him, you weren't trying to pull me back into no car. How you pull me back into the car and then bust my eye and bust my lip? Make it make sense. Oh, look at you, coat of many colors.
You know? I got me that color.
Oh my gosh.
And the glasses.
Yes.
I was just complaining about
Yes.
those.
We went to
Amazon. No.
Oh, and then what, you put your prescription in?
Huh?
You put your prescription in, Auntie?
No, they have the strength.
Oh.
I'll show you. I'll tell you.
Okay. So, yeah, the situation with Blueface and Chrisean actually kind of makes me sad. Obviously, it's never cool to watch somebody go through abuse, When I was in my situation, a lot of people were worried about me after seeing what they saw, because obviously I did stay, but like, I didn't then, like, you guys were never fully exposed to it. So like, after that happened, I kind of just slowly was taking a back seat everywhere and just, in my own element and trying to navigate what was going on in my house. But like, it wasn't like in your face all the time. Though some of you said like I would be on camera and you guys would be looking in my eyes and, it wasn't giving what it was supposed to be gave. So, yeah, but I really do feel for Chrisean because, I understand completely, and I feel bad for her, and I really just pray that she gets the help she needs and gets away from Blueface. I really do. I feel like a lot of times where money is concerned, people are afraid to walk away if they feel like somebody has something over them, such as money. If she knows that she made $100,000 this year alone, and Blueface is holding that money and he has it, or he's using it to do whatever he wants to do with it, and he's not going to give it to her because it's been cash or whatever, it would be hard to walk away from that. I would feel the same way. I would feel, you know, I wouldn't want to just, I feel like I'm leaving. I need to leave with something, okay? I can't leave empty handed. But if it gets to that point where you're really like, I don't think that I could do this anymore, you're gonna walk away, money or no money, you know? It got to that point for me. I was like, I need to go. I'll figure it out later, child. I'll figure it out later. And the Lord dropped the bag in my lap. That's it. So I don't know what she's gonna do, but I just hope that she gets to the point where she figures it out. It really broke my heart when she got online the next day. It did. Because again, I've been there. So that's pretty much it for this Be With the Tea. I love you all so much, and I'll definitely see you in the next one.